Hello students, this video is for class 12th and today we will study the major change in our Indian economy, that is the change which was taken by Manmohan Singh in the year of 1991. As you have already studied in class 10th about the new economic policy 1991, that is also known as LPG model. LPG was the new economic policy which stands for liberalization, privatization and globalization. This policy was the demand of 1991 financial crisis, and at that time under the Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao and Finance Minister Manmohan Singh, they both decide to adopt such a policy for India which provide immense benefits or prove as an immense booster for India's declining economical growth. So today we will study about the new economic policy 1991, which includes liberalization, privatization and globalization. As we all know that LPG, that is the new economic policy 1991, comes in the economic environment of India. The circumstances of 1991 was so bad that the Finance Minister Manmohan Singh has to adopt such a policy which works as a booster for our declining economic growth rate. You will also study liberalization, privatization and globalization in the economics section, that is the Indian development, in detail. In business study, only a few dimensions of this policy will be discussed. Why the new economic policy was adopted? क्यों न्यू इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी जो है वो अडॉप्ट की रही थी? What was the reason behind the adoption of new economic policy in 1991? क्योंकि 1991 के टाइम क्या हुआ था, इंडिया की जो इकोनॉमिक कंडीशन थी दैट वाज रियली सो बैड. इंडिया में फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस जो है वो बहुत ज़्यादा एक्सट्रीम रेट से जो है वो बढ़ते चले जा रहे थे. अगर हम बात करें, हालांकि अभी आपने नहीं पढ़ा है, फिस्कल डेफिसिट किसी भी देश के लिए माना जाता है कि उस देश की बोरोइंग कितनी है इंटरनेशनल मार्केट से. दैट इज़ नॉन एज फिस्कल डेफिसिट. फिस्कल डेफिसिट इज़ द बोरोइंग ऑफ एनी नेशन फ्रॉम द इंटरनेशनल मार्केट. उस टाइम पे अगर आप बात करो, एट द टाइम ऑफ 1991 fiscal deficit of India was around 6.7%. Foreign exchange reserves were badly decreasing. Depreciation of rupee was done. In the value of rupee, the value of Indian currency, that is rupee, is continuously decreasing in the international market. There is no other option left with the finance minister other than the new economic policy 1991, because prior to 1991 there were so many restrictions in India regarding the import and export of goods and services and the inflow and outflow of the foreign exchange or foreign capital. So at that time such a policy has to be adopted which provides you a better platform to flourish yourself in the international market, and that platform will be provided by the Manmohan Singh and the Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao in the year of 1991, in which they adopted the new economic policy. Today we will study about that new economic policy which include liberalization, privatization and globalization. So what do you understand by liberalization? There are the three main parts of the new economic policy, and those elements or those parts are liberalization. So first of all we will study about liberalization. Liberalization In simple sense, liberalization means to liberalize, to free oneself. So liberalization refers to the end of license, quota and many more restrictions which were put on industries before 1991. Basically, the main motive of liberalization is to free the industrial sector from so many rules and regulations which are imposed by the Indian government on our industrial sector. Basically, prior to 1991, there were so many restrictions, there were so many rules and regulations for the industries who want to establish their business, who want to flourish their business. But with the introduction of liberalization, it bring to an end the licensing and the quota system for so many industries. Indian companies, Indian industries brought liberalization from so many rules and regulations which were really too much excessive. So liberalization means freeing of Indian industries from all unnecessary government controls and restrictions. The major step was the abolition of licensing system except 6 industries. The licensing system was abolished for all the industries except the 6 industries, and if we consider today's time, those 6 industries confined to 3 industries. I think that is one is of the defense, other one is of the drugs and harmful chemicals, and the third one is of the aircraft industries, like all that. So liberalization means the end of the excessive rules and regulations, and the major step which was taken in the liberalization was abolition of license except 3 to 4 इंडस्ट्रीज़. अगर हम प्रेजेंट टाइम की बात करें तो वो 3 या 4 इंडस्ट्रीज़ है, लेकिन अगर हम आज से 3 या 4 साल पहले की बात करते हैं तो वो 6 इंडस्ट्रीज़ थी. 1991 में जो है वो सारी की सारी इंडस्ट्रीज़ के लिए लाइसेंसिंग जो है वो ख़त्म की रही थी एक्सेप्ट 6 इंडस्ट्रीज़. No restrictions. Now there will be no restrictions on the expansion and contraction of any business activities. A businessman can expand or modernize his business as per his wish or desire. Tax rate will be reduced and unnecessary controls over the economy will be lifted. They will be abolished. Liberalization is provided in the import and export procedure. There is freedom of fixing prices, freedom in movements of goods and services. It means all the freedom procedures will come under the liberalization. Liberalization provides a businessman complete freedom regarding his business activities. Whatever he wants, he can implement those decisions in his business without the excessive interference of the government. So it is the basic meaning of liberalization. Now the second one, liberalization is followed by privatization. Privatization means giving greater participation to the private individuals in the nation building process and reduced the role of public sector. Privatization means to privatize the industries of public sector which are continuously working in the loss. अगर हम बात करें, जैसा कि 11th में भी मैंने बताया है कि जब हम WTO पढ़ रहे थे तब मैंने ये चीज़ बताई थी आपको कि इंडिया में बहुत सारी पब्लिक सेक्टर इंडस्ट्रीज़ ऐसी हैं जो आज भी लॉस में चल रही हैं. सो 1991 में जब हमारे फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस बहुत ज़्यादा बुरी तरह से इंडियन इकोनॉमी को उन्होंने कैप्चर कर लिया था, हमारा फिस्कल डेफिसिट जो है वो कंटिन्यूसली बढ़ता चला जा रहा था और इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में मनी का डेप्रिशिएशन या डीवैल्यूएशन जो है वो होता चला जा रहा था. उस टाइम पे जो गवर्नमेंट थी उनके पास प्रॉपर अमाउंट में इतने फंड्स अवेलेबल नहीं थे कि वो अपने पब्लिक सेक्टर इंडस्ट्रीज़ जो कि लॉस में चल रही है उनको फाइनेंस प्रोवाइड करवा पाए. So at that time they took a decision of privatization. Those industries of public sector which are continuously running in losses, they are privatized. They are owned now by the private sector. पब्लिक सेक्टर ने क्या किया, गवर्नमेंट ने क्या किया, गवर्नमेंट स्टार्ट सेलिंग the shares of public sector companies to the private sector companies, which means disinvestment. Disinvestment of public sector undertaking means transfer of public enterprises to the private individuals. यानी कि जो भी आपकी पब्लिक सेक्टर इंडस्ट्रीज थी उन पब्लिक सेक्टर इंडस्ट्रीज का ट्रांसफ़र किया जाने लगा, उन पब्लिक सेक्टर इंडस्ट्रीज को सेल किया जाने लगा प्राइवेट इंडिविजुअल्स की तरफ, बिकॉज एज वी ऑल नो दैट in privatization, in private sector, there is more skills and more stress is laid down on the management of the company. So, and the main aim will be profit maximization, but the aim of public sector will be social welfare, and somehow they don't charge excessive prices, and that is the basic reason for earning losses in the public sector industries. So disinvestment is a part of privatization, which means selling of पब्लिक सेक्टर इंटरप्राइजेज टू द प्राइवेट सेक्टर इंटरप्राइजेज. जो भी इंडस्ट्रीज लॉस में चल रही थी पब्लिक सेक्टर की, उन सारी की सारी इंडस्ट्रीज का प्राइवेटाइजेशन किया गया, उन्हें प्राइवेट इंडिविजुअल्स के हाथों में दिया गया ताकि प्रॉफिट्स जो है वो जनरेट किए जा सके. उसके साथ साथ ही सेटिंग अप ऑफ बोर्ड एंड इंडस्ट्रियल फाइनेंशियल रिकंस्ट्रक्शन, BIFR, दैट इज बोर्ड ऑफ इंडस्ट्रियल एंड फाइनेंशियल रिकंस्ट्रक्शन. This board was set up to revive SIC units in public sector enterprises. SIC units का मतलब होता है those business units of public sector which are continuously running in losses. So BIFR was established to know the basic reason behind the loss generated by those SIC units and try to minimize the reasons फॉर लॉसेज. BIFR का काम ये था कि हमारी जो इंडस्ट्रीज लॉस में चल रही है, यानी कि जो हमारी सिक यूनिट्स है, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल उसने कैटेगराइज किया, उसने आइडेंटिफाई किया कि कौन कौन सी हमारी सिक यूनिट्स है, और वो यूनिट्स अगर सिक हैं, यानी कि वो यूनिट्स अगर कंटिन्यूसली लॉस में चल रही है, तो व्हाट आर द रीजंस बिहाइंड दैट लॉसेज. वो रीजंस फाइंड आउट करके उन्हें दूर करने की, उन्हें रिमूव करने की कोशिश जो है वो BIFR ने की थी. एंड द लास्ट वन is dilution of the state of the government. It means transfer of ownership and management of the public sector enterprise to the private sector enterprise. यानी कि अगर पार्टनरशिप में भी आप करते हैं, पब्लिक या प्राइवेट सेक्टर पार्टनरशिप में भी अगर बिजनेस करते हैं, then the 51% share of that business will be in the hands of private sector. So this is privatization. Privatization basically means increasing the role of private sector so that burden of government will be reduced. This one is followed by globalization, which you have studied in class 10th in the economics portion. That is a complete chapter you have studied. Globalization means integration of various economies of the world. In the world, all the countries, all the nations integrated through the medium of import and export, through the medium of international trade. International trade is the only solution for a nation if that nation wants to communicate, wants to integrate with any other nation. If they will do business with each other, then they will be provided such a platform by which they can integrate with each other. Their economies will be integrated. So globalization means integration of various economies of the world. The measures taken by the government include trade liberalization, which includes import liberalization. Prior to 1991, there were so many restrictions regarding the import and foreign investment. There were so many quantitative and qualitative barriers which we have studied in class 11. इम्पोर्ट ऑफ गुड्स पे जो है वो बहुत सारे रेस्ट्रिक्शंस लगाए रहे थे, लिमिट्स डिसाइड कर दी जाती थी कि इस लिमिट से ज़्यादा आप इम्पोर्ट जो है वो नहीं कर सकते हो. फॉरेन डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट इज़ नॉट अलाउड फ्रीली, फॉरेन डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट को अलाउ नहीं किया जाता था. इम्पोर्ट्स के लिए आपको लाइसेंस लेना पड़ता था. तो ये सारे के सारे रेस्ट्रिक्शंस जो थे वो फ्री फ्लो ऑफ गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज जो है वो बिटवीन टू नेशंस अलाउ नहीं कर रहे थे. सो एट दैट टाइम ग्लोबलाइजेशन was added as an element of the new economic policy, which removed all the restrictions from the import of capital goods. Whatever the restrictions are imposed on the import of goods and services, those restrictions are removed, and FERA, that is Foreign Exchange Regulation Act, was replaced by Foreign Exchange Management Act. Now, foreign direct investment will be allowed freely, but still it will be managed. Prior to 1991, there was a Regulation Act. Regulation Act means excessive rules and regulation, and Management Act means they will only manage, they will only supervise, they will only provide you the guidance. So, FERA was replaced by FEMA, and export duty was abolished and import duty was reduced, so that it can provide a greater interaction and interdependence among the various nations of the global economy. So these are the three elements of new economic policy: liberalization, privatization and globalization. Liberalization means liberalize the economy from excessive rules and regulations. Privatization means increasing the role of private sector, and globalization means integration of our economy with the world economy. So today we have studied about the new economic policy which was taken by the finance minister of 1991. And who was the finance minister at that time? Manmohan Singh. And the prime minister at that time was P.V. Narasimha Rao. Why? What was the main objective behind new economic policy? It was taken because it was the need of that time. At the time of 1991, India was facing financial crisis. Its fiscal deficit is increasing, that is at the rate of 6.7. Our economies is facing such a big recession. Our rupee in the international market was depreciating, and so such a policy has to be adopted which provides you a booster for your economic growth.